All right, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bahamut, your caster this evening, and this is the first match, at least for me, of the Season 3 Nexus Gaming Series. On the left, we have Wasted Potential, and on the right, we have Illusion Esports. This is much like the previous seasons we had before, where this is a domination series. So, it is a best of two. We are going to be going to Infernal Shrines first, and then Battlefield of Eternity. Wasted Potential decided to ban out Dragonshire, and Illusion Esports, who won the coin flip, they banned out Volskaya Industries. We actually have a Sonya being banned out here first. Now, with the way that everything's been changing with sieging in this game and towers not having ammo and just supports becoming weaker, here, Fizio, how you doing, bud? Thanks for swinging by. We definitely see a difference in bans, as well as the fact that Garrosh had so many changes to his kit that basically he's not the first ban, first pick material. It's a lot of this Sonya Valeera, which in, the ganks you get from Valeera, I've been seeing some of my friends play, and it is terrifying. No thank you, do I want to be, having that sneak up on me. Now, granted, there also were stealth changes to the game too while we were away, so seeing stealthy heroes is a little bit easier. You also need to make sure that you're drafting heroes that will be able to counter those things or reveal them very easily. So, I personally, I'm not too worried when I see a Valeera, except for when I get hit with that 2.5 second silence. But either way, I mean, that's one of those things that, if you're actively revealing her, then, that isn't something that I believe will be happening to you. ETC being hovered here on the side, or no, excuse me, he will be picked up by Wasted Potential. Yes. What am I thinking? We're already in the second phase. I already skipped. ETC so strong, so versatile. I love him here. Malthael being picked up in the first slot, and Hanzo as well. This is interesting that we're seeing Hanzo so early in this draft. He does provide a lot of good poke damage, but the thing that and this is the conversation I get into people with Hanzo on this map, is that one of his shots and many of his actual his multi-shot, his scatter shot is kind of weak here because of the fact that there are so many skeletal defenders to get in the way of that. But hey, they're going to be taking Hanzo. We'll see. Malthael being picked up here, it's probably going to be their solo laner, I would assume. Now, that's Illusion Esports. That's their 1-2 pick. We're going to go into this ban phase, but let's talk about what's also been picked up for Wasted Potential here. Now, we have a Lucio Vala. So let's just look overall at the basis of Wasted Potential's draft. And this is what I really like about it, is they've drafted a strong tank, a strong healer, and damage. And at this point, all they really can ban out against is a second support, a second damage, something in the solo lane that maybe Malthael feels a little weak against. So that Dahaka is probably there. And it looks like, on the counter side, they have Malthael and Hanzo. They do have those 2 damage dealers. They're probably going to be looking for a tank, off tank, because they're going to need that solo laner. And then they're also going to be needing a support. So pretty much their draft is filled out, and focusing that Diablo is really, really smart on the side of Wasted Potential, because of the fact that is something that you're not going, you don't want to deal with Diablo on this map because there are a lot of good places to charge. But Joanna is, in my opinion, I really like her here. The blinds against the Vala would be very strong as well. This is, so far, it's shaping up to be a very good draft from both teams so far. I really, really like this. Now, I'm assuming we're going to get a support, and they'll flex on their last slot, so that way they get, they can see what they're going to pick in the last 2 slots on the side of Wasted Potential. That way, Illusion Esports, they can go, all right, we'll flex on our last spot. Maybe we need this to adjust our draft to counter something that maybe they threw us off. Templar, how you doing, bud? Thanks for swinging by.
To my last breath.
Rhaegar, I liked it. The chain heal's really good. The Ancestral's really powerful for a team. Malthael benefits from that. Now, here's the thing. So for the 4-man, I'd like to see an Anubarak actually picked up here. It will weaken the Hanzo. You can just web wrap him. The moment he goes Tormented Souls, web wrap, done. Bye. And then for their solo lane, honestly, I'm just partial to it. I think Alarak would be a phenomenal pickup here. Realistically, I really think Wasted Potential would benefit a lot from an Anubarak. It's a lot of good dive. It works with their team. They have a good engage. Lucio can follow up, as well as the speed boost in and out for his, for the Vala. ETC is the power slide in, and then Alarak, he can do deadly charge at 10. He also has Counter Strike at 10 if you want to do that. The overall repositioning you can get from the telekinesis is very strong as well. You can definitely get that pull onto one member who's just struggling to get away from the fight. Probably would be Joanna in this situation, but we're going to see here what they're actually going to be picking up in these last 2 slots on the side of Waste Potential. A new Barak. Hey, Genji, okay. Genji, I'm not too opposed to. But this is just, so this worries me is what are they going to be putting in their solo lane, because Genji's not a solo laner. Genji doesn't have wave clear. So I'm worried. I'm worried about the draft of Wasted Potential. But we'll see. I mean, you know, I could have all my words put right back into my mouth. I could be completely wrong in this, and you never know. I actually probably will. I am. But either way, this last slot here. I think actually someone accidentally said something in draft all rather than their their team draft chat. But no, I'm kind of blocking it with my chair right now. I honestly don't see the reason for what is being discussed currently, but Arthas could be impactful here. I just personally don't think he works. Honestly, I think if they just went Falstad, that'd be perfect for them. They go Arthas still. I don't think they needed the second tank, to be honest. Falstad Gust would be pretty strong here, I think. They don't really... well, I shouldn't say that. They've got 2 interrupts for Mosh if they go that route. Hanzo has his 10. Joanna has her shield or her condemn, but she's usually the one in it, unless she magically... well, she could get cleansed beforehand. Arthas has... does Howling Blast have a stun to it? Or is it? I think it's just a root. There's no stun on it. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Like, I'm really curious to see who's going to be coming out on top of this, because honestly, these teams are pretty amazing. Like, this is Division B, and like, you know, it's the middle ground and everything. But like, I had a lot of fun casting, you know, this division last season. So I was like, I'm gonna try and stay there. I'll flip flop around, but I don't know. Like, I had so much fun casting Division B last season that definitely I think it is going to be something that I'll be sticking around to. And you know, these drafts, they're, you know, not saying that different divisions have bad drafts at all. Mostly just saying that, I don't know, I guess I can predict or understand Division B a little bit better because I just casted it so much. Who knows? I don't know. Rambling a little bit here while we have this load-in page. Overall, though, like, so Wasted Potential, they've got a really good draft. I'm just worried about their laning setup. And honestly, the Hanzo on the side of Illusion Esports is the only thing that worries me, because it's just, I haven't really got to cast him in a very extremely competitive manner. So it's just one of those things that I'm just not too sure about just yet. But either way, let's get into this. On the right-hand side, we have Illusion Esports with, I went through all these beforehand, and I was like, I'm so sure of these, but we have Infafox on the Arthas. We have Kozer, who's going to be playing that Joanna with great mount. Thermic is going to be playing that Rhaegar. Cawthon on that Malthael. We have Squell Black on the Hanzo. I get everybody? First game a little shaky, sorry. All right, and then on the left-hand side, we have Wasted Potential with Hope on the on the Genji, Nathan on the Vala, Geo on the Lucio, Zangagu, I did not look at that one, on the ETC, and Boone on the Anubarak, and that is going to be Waste Potential. So, lady matchup-wise, we already see at the start of this, they have Arthas here. That looks like they drafted him as their solo laner, so Malthael will be in the 4-man rotation. Currently, though, they have the 5-man on the side of Wasted Potential, so it looks like these guys are just going to stick into this lane, while the rest of the members, they're kind of just going to play safe here, wait for the minion wave to kind of just meet and clash. Anubarak is actually going to be going up into that top lane, so this is the thing that I was a little curious about, because of the fact that the way that they had drafted, I would have actually thrown Malthael into the top lane, drafted something a little bit better for some rotations, maybe like a Gul'dan or a Kael'thas. I said Falstad, but a mage would have been better here, and that would have been better for, because you put Malthael up against that Anubarak, and he just sits there and melts him because it's percentile damage. But either way, we'll cast the match at hand. It looks like these rotations are going to be starting out on the side of Illusion Esports. Wasted Potential just going to be, you know, leaving Vala down here in bottom, going ahead and just getting that clear. Now, the rest of the 3-man looks like they will get the clear in the mid, but they're going to have to back off here because they it's a weird staggered rotation because I think it's one of those things that Illusion Esports has practiced and kind of has down, and I really don't think Wasted Potential is really sure what to do in these rotations. It's nothing on them. It seems like it's kind of catching them off guard a little bit here. Koz are going to go ahead and take a really aggressive rotation. Team not going to be following up on any of that damage. Looks like the ETC will be able to body a little bit of this. The Iron Skin does come out there. Coffin will be in this. Just kind of getting the clear. Okay. It looked like he was going to dive in a little bit, but the other thing to consider here is that Thermic is really low. Koz are a little bit low here. Will the first kill be going over to Wasted Potential? And that is ETC getting the first kill of the match here. Rhaegar going to go ahead and go back at this time. We have about 50 seconds until the first Punisher pops up. It will be in that top lane position, so this is really great for the solo laners right now. And if a Fox going to be pushing in Boone just a bit here because of the fact that, you know, it's just, he's a more bruisery tank. Like, this is something that I went through just in my Hero League games. Like, they were like, oh, we have a Dahaka. Well, our Joanna was banned, so we can't play her. I'm just going to play Li Ming. It's like, no. Like, there are tanks, but they're not actually tanks. Like, Arthas is, you know, he's a special hero. He gets to kind of do everything. But there are, you know, like Sonya. She's in the tank class. She's not a tank. Like, she's your solo laner. Same with Dahaka. Either way, outside of my own personal salt, looks like these rotations are going pretty well, actually, and it is actually still benefiting on the side of Wasted Potential here. Looks like they are still getting these clears, as well as that kill did push them up a slight bit more in advantage here, experience-wise. But I mean, we can see it right now. We're talking 100 difference back and forth. These teams are just neck and neck experience-wise. Definitely a pretty even matchup here, but it looks like we get a little skirmish in between this rotation from bottom. Looks like the camp will just be cleared up by Rhaegar and Joanna here. Vala will go ahead and get a little bit more clear, pushing them closer towards those sevens. In mid lane, Geohope and Zengaju. We'll go with that. Zengaju is going to be going ahead and clearing that up with the couple of his members. But the rest of the team has rotated up on the side of Illusion Esports, so they're definitely going to be getting a little bit of pressure. They'll back off at this time. Now, the crazy thing, and I still want to note this, is that the top shrine, it hasn't been activated. It's been up for about 51 seconds here, but still, like, it's absolutely insane. All right, we actually have a little bit of a dive here onto one of the members. Looks like he will be able to get out. The Howling Blast does connect onto a couple members. It is just a root here. Do believe misspoke when I said that it also had a stun and draft. But at this time, it looks like it... So the shrine was started, but they decided to team fight in lane. The first Punisher isn't the most strong thing in the world, but definitely getting it is still powerful. We have a dash through, and Arthas will be getting killed here. And that's going to be another pickup for the side of Wasted Potential. And with that, they're going to need to back off on the side of Illusion Esports. Koz are going to have to go back and probably tap well. Coffin could probably get passive healing from Rhaegar, but not getting some of that chain there. Only really spreading to Kozer. So just not having that little extra bump it hurts over time, so it's one of those things. And it looks like with the fact that Arthas did die, they go ahead, they get onto this shrine. But Arthas, you know, death timers are very short at this point into the game, so he's going to be back right into this lane without a problem. Now, here's the thing: do they invade? Do they take? It's even talent tiers. They have vision now that Hanzo threw in the reveal. It looks like they do start to go in for the invade here. It looks like ETC will power slide through a couple of the members. There will be a dive in from the Anubarak as well. A couple of the members are falling low. Boone needs to get out of here. Zengagu is a little bit low here himself. Coffin trying to get a little bit of damage. Genji going to dash through, going to get the kill, but he does not have the reset. Looks like he will be able to just kind of walk out of there without a problem. Now there is a slide in from the ETC. He does not use the knockback. I do believe that is the Arthas falling though at this time. Another dash in from Hope here, trying to get on to a couple of members, but they are a little bit well, not a little bit. They've got a lot of health here, and it looks like they will go ahead, get through the gate. Kozer will go ahead and back, and it looks like this is going to be the first Punisher going over in favor of Wasted Potential. And that was a pretty strong fight that they took, also not giving up any members. Boone was a little low there, you know, and there was a lot of poison on him, but did get out without a problem. Gonna go ahead and hearth it this time. Malthael gonna go ahead and also rotate into the bottom lane, knowing that they're going to need that split, so won't actually be happening. Never mind. It looks like they will be rotating back up. Arthas going to that mid. Punisher going to go ahead and jump over. The Unstoppable was popped onto Kozer there, so he did make sure that he didn't get stunned out from the Punisher. They can continue fighting it. And it looks like they'll burn down the gate. Punisher will get a little damage onto the fort, but I don't think they're going to get much more than that. They'll widen this up. Actually, Punisher going to jump once again, going to get his stun out. Kozer taking quite a bit of damage. ETC going to get that knockback. Slide in, does not connect, it doesn't get it, but it looks like they deal enough damage to worry them. They push them back, and it looks like this is going to be a free fort for the side of Wasted Potential, and these guys are really, really pushing into Illusion Esports and kind of making it difficult for them to kind of get their footing here and start to, you know, control the lanes, push them up a little bit. And, you know, this is the thing. I was saying it in draft, and I'm going to say it now. I had poo-pooed, like, you know, their draft. I was like, oh, you don't have a solo laner. You know, it's not going to work out. But, I mean, look at it now. They're getting a lot of these picks from some of these members who are just rotating. And it looks like Infofox is going to be the next death. And with that, they're already on this camp. They go ahead and they start that out. It's going to be starting to push down the bottom lane, and if they can focus here with these 10s, they definitely can get a lot of push power, then work onto the Punisher, which will be popping up in the next, I think it's like right around like 9 minutes now, will be the reset, because it's like 2 minutes after the Punisher. No, I have to look up the timers now. I really don't know them off the top of my head anymore. But we do have, it looks like we do have Maltheo going up in this top lane trying to get that split soak. We do have a Nubrak Boon in mid. Going to go ahead and just do the exact same thing, just keeping that advantage in their favor. But they're going to dedicate this 4-man into the bottom lane who's going to be pushing into this gate, and opening this up is huge on a map like this, mostly because the fact that when the Punisher does barrel down this lane, or excuse me, if it barrels down this lane, because they can, you know, they can get 10s themselves and turn this around. It's, you know, this isn't just a one-sided match here. They are currently split, you know, they're soaking every lane, and, you know, at this point, Wasted Potential has taken all the resources, just put them into bottom lane, which isn't a horrible idea, especially if you are this far ahead and you're just that confident that you're going to be taking the next Punisher. Once they, ooh, I was about to say, are this a little far forward? I was going to say they're going to catch him on the rotation, but it will not be happening. Able to get out of there without a problem. Now we do actually have a couple of the members going to start working or finishing up this camp. Doesn't look like it's going to be invaded. They're going to be picking up their own on the side of Waste Potential. So Illusion Esports and Waste Potential are going to be picking up the camps just about the same time. And they're also going to be picking up this siege camp, which will just kind of give them a little bit of time to kind of push up the lanes a little bit, have a little bit of safety themselves. Kozer here just in the bush, just getting a little bit of scouting out. We do have Cawthon just trying to rotate out of the lanes, also just soak up a little bit here. And it looks like they pick up that camp. The rest of the team does rotate out. And they, with even talent tiers, this is the time they have to take a fight. If they can get a fight here, this is huge for them. Hanzo arrow going out, huge stun into a couple of people. They burn down the Valo right away. The mosh pit does come out from the ETC, but it only connects onto 2 of the members. There is a kill onto the Lucio as well. They do get the kill on... No, actually, ETC gets through the gate. They don't get the kill on him. I thought they had the hold on him, but it looks like he will be able to just get on the other side of that. Now, what they really need to do is they need to split. They need to rotate someone out of the team, throw them straight into the shrine, and get working on that while pushing up the bottom lane. They just need to split their assets right now because they are focusing, yes, into the mid, but this is not where the Punisher's going. This isn't where their value will be. So they do get the Rhaegar, they get the Joanna and Maltheo down here, as well as Hanzo. Arthas will be in this top lane, going to go ahead and just kind of push this back, make sure that this camp doesn't get the gate and just become a snowball effect. But with 13s on the side, really close. Ooh, actually a dive in from Nubrak and hope there. Actually, the web rep does go out onto the Joanna, separating her from the team. Kozer going to have to... Ooh, he's going to be in a really bad spot here. The Unstoppable is used, but it doesn't mean he can get through all those body blocks. There is the pull in from the Condemned. There is also the chase, and it looks like that will be Kozer falling. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and pick this up. So I was thinking that they would definitely have this Punisher, but with that rotation that they quickly came back, and it is, you know, it's only 10 minutes into the game. It's not like death timers are that long. Dive in from a Nubrak, and we actually get the stun onto the Hanzo. Gets out with about 1/3 of his health, but whew. Looks like they will be picking this up on the side of Wasted Potential. They go ahead and rotate Arthas back into top. Try and soak up a little bit more of that experience. Make sure they're on 13s as this Punisher comes into this bottom lane. Now, granted, they do also have the gate, so they can bait the jump over. Looks like Lucio did time this out as well, so they go ahead and start this out. Or no, excuse me, I thought the camps disappeared like in Battlefield of Eternity. I guess I'm way rustier on my casting than I thought I was. But either way, it looks like they will be picking up that camp in... It's going to be kind of a little late behind them, but either way, Lucio does have that speed boost, so they are able to kind of rotate back up very quickly. Now, 13s have not been achieved just yet on the side of Illusion Esports. They're going to have to play this slightly safe, but they'll get them in due time. That shouldn't be too big of an issue just from that There it is. From that, just that natural little bit of experience you're going to get. There you go. So Punisher is burned down quite quickly. They open up the gate, and it's defended very well. Couple roots go out there, but overall it looks like they defend this. They only lose the gate. Team will rotate back, probably pick up this camp, then dedicate someone to their top lane, make sure that they're not going to be losing out too much onto that. But overall, like with this next, cooldown of I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes, and the next shrine will probably be mid. I'm just gonna guess. It should show in a minute, but either way. Actually, Koz are going to be they're trying to take a fight right now, knowing that a Nubrek is in that top lane. It looks like Nathan is going to be taking quite a bit of damage. The mosh pit goes out into so many of the members. It is interrupted with the shield, though. Looks like, though, they are able to rotate the majority of the members out. The blind does go out as well. They do get the Howling Blast onto the Lucio here, but he is able to kind of just keep his members alive and safe. And it looks like they do also steal away this camp from the members of Wasted Potential, so that's pretty big for them. Or no, excuse me, they did pick it up, they just burned it down, so it didn't get any lane value. But Arthas a little far out here. If they did chase, they could get quite a bit, but it looks like it won't be it's not going to be what's happening. Actually, Koz are going to be re-engaging here, and Nubrak kind of just above the team. They don't have vision on him? Yes, they do. He's in the minion wave. They know where he is exactly. But at this time, that is the next Punisher is in the mid wave, so going ahead and just making sure that lane is protected is pretty safe for those guys. Throwing is watching. Throwing is watching. Oh! I forgot that the team name is Throwing with a question mark, and I was like, what? Got you. Throwing as well. Okay, I got you. What's wrong with Throwing's watching, Smalls? It looks like we actually do have a little bit of another fight picking out here. Kozer wants to take another fight. Double Howling Blast goes out on a couple of members. We do have Infofox getting the cleanse, though. Quite a bit of damage. The Ancestral Healing goes off, and Genji isn't able to get that kill. Dragon Blade does come out, though. Malthael trying to utilize the Tormented Souls onto so many of the members, but Genji swiping is doing so much damage. This is a bit hard for the Rhaegar to deal with. The Hanzo did get web wrap there, and they are so low on the side of Illusion Esports. That's going to be the Malthael falling. Do we have the Joanna? No, we have Arthas falling. Kozer's so low, 59 health. Joanna will be falling, as well as Rhaegar, and at this time, looks like Hope is going to be trying to chase after this. Does actually get killed by the Hanzo, but it looks like they're going to be chasing this down, and they want more than just, I think they wanted more than just the Hanzo kill. I think they're definitely looking for the keep in this situation. Knockback goes out. Are they? Yeah, they're able to get this kill, of course. ETC taking quite a bit of damage. Nubrak going to go ahead and dive in. He does have that shield from his dive, so it looks like he will be able to go ahead and just work down this keep. And this is perfect for them because now they've created so much lane pressure, so much ticking time bomb situation for the members of Illusion Esports. And this is actually pretty difficult for them because now they're going to need to constantly rotate someone into that bottom, make sure that catapult's not pressuring up too much. Granted, they are going to have a decent amount of time before that first catapult wave is going to be hitting. We already have one minion wave coming up, and it's not a catapult wave, so I think it should be the next one that triggers. But at the same time, the one thing I was noting on top of all this is that the shrine is popping, and it's in mid lane. So that rotation, yes, it is doable, but once you rotate someone, you dedicate that asset, and the other team sees, watch them go in very, very hard on your team and just absolutely demolish them. So it's just one of those things that, like, it's just the pressure that you get from that is just, it's not something that I would want to be dealing with on the side of Illusion Esports. But even then, some people, that kind of pressure is what the team needs. They work well under it. They know that they like, all right, we got to manage bottom. We got to focus on our lanes, and that, it puts them back into a place. So at the same time, we have to consider that aspect that this might actually be useful for them. Now, I know losing a keep isn't a useful thing, but I'm just trying to find, like, there's always a silver lining. This is Heroes of the Storm. There are rubber band effects to it. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to pick up this camp. Arthas will go ahead and clear out this top, making sure that's not getting too much value. Now in mid, that camp was picked up, and it's also started pushing quite a bit. They have 16s on the side of Illusion Esports. They're also going to be rotating into this Bruiser camp, and so that's going to be just about perfectly. I think that should time out with the shrine actually. Oh no, the shrine's activatable, just no one's done it yet. Because I was just like, why? It's just like, I feel like we've been past time on this. So they're going to go ahead and activate it on the side of Wasted Potential. And they also did a phenomenal thing of getting that camp in bottom. That's just going to naturally push up the lane a little bit more. So those catapults, they get straight into the core very, very quickly. And I focused that, but it is one of those things that, like, you can lose out very quickly. But quite a bit of fight is breaking out at this time. ETC getting that knockback. Looks like Cawthon will be getting onto a couple of members. The Ancestral Healing goes out onto one of the members. And it looks like Arthas will be receiving that. Tons of damage going out onto the members of Wasted Potential. ETC is going to be falling very early in this fight. There was no mosh pit for him to utilize. A lot of the cooldowns were down there, and that was just a very, very good fight on the side of Illusion Esports. Getting that pick is huge for them. So they go ahead, and it looks like they're going to start working on these skeletal defenders. Now, in top lane, their camp has been pushing, and this is the value that you can get from this camp. I mean, these things are devastating. You can see how it's just melting. On the same side, on the core side of Illusion Esports, they're going to be going ahead and sending Arthas back. Now, with that, as I said, Arthas went back. They start diving in. Cleanse does go out. Cawthon taking quite a bit of damage. Lucio has that speed boost. Will be getting that kill. There is the dive in from Themric onto one of the members. It will not be enough. We actually have Vala going in for quite a bit of damage there. And it looks like actually Genji gets the reset, but Vala will still be falling in that situation to the Hanzo. And at this, I mean, did they turn it around enough where that they can get it? Because, like, their core has a catapult on it. Now, granted, there's a mini wave that's there that should be able to kind of clear that very quickly. ETC does need to clear top. He doesn't have stage dive, so they're going to see that, and they know that they can kind of take this. But granted, this is Hanzo. I mean, I think they have the better fight here. The web wrap does go out. They dive right onto that backline. They're getting damage onto the member, but it looks like the blessed shield does go up. But Genji just wants that kill. Hope gets it. Kozer and Infofox going to be trying to work down the rest of the shrine. They only need 5 more skeletal defenders, and with the health pools that they have, I think they should be able to get it. They're trying to burn down these members so quickly, though, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Actually, Boom going to be dying out here. No, he gets rooted. Does he have a burrow? There is the slide in from the ETC. The knockback is there. 35 health, 40. Kozer going to be taking quite a bit of damage. The Unstoppable is popped, and it looks like he stays alive. He gets out, and they still steal away the Punisher on the side of Illusion Esports. So, amazing on them for picking that up. That is a phenomenal aspect of the game for them to have, because the fact that, like, now it gives them a little bit of breathing room. They can get closer to those 20s. It doesn't mean that you know, Waves of Potential is going to be coming down mid lane. Granted, it is the most protected lane, but it's not going to be coming down that mid lane with an 18-minute Punisher with their 20s probably in hand. If they had won out on that entire fight, that could have been game-ending. But they pick it up, they turn it around, and at this point, it's still anyone's game. They just need to make sure that they manage their bottom lane, make sure that they keep those catapults from pressuring the core. And overall, I mean, they can still open this up. The next Punisher could be top or bottom. If it's top and they pick it up, that's a really, really good situation on the side of Illusion Esports. Granted, if it's bottom, that's a really, really strong aspect on the side of Wasted Potential. So these are just some of the win conditions that we're kind of sitting at right now. It looks like they're going to go ahead and just kind of scout out these bushes, but both these teams are kind of just waiting for the rotation for the other. Looks like it won't be happening. They kind of scout out with Genji's shuriken there, and it does not look like it's going to be happening. But at this time, they go ahead, and I would assume that they're going to want to clear up this camp. It looks like they'll rotate up in top lane, and they'll just be picking up this huge wave, which should be giving them, not 20s, but definitely closer to it. Once again, they'll posture up into this bush, maybe catch them on a rotation, seeing, oh, the Rhaegar's out of position, so we can maybe get a pick on him. Nubrak is going to go ahead. They're going to clear out this mid. And the other thing to note here is that the next shrine is in bottom. That's a big thing to note here, and it looks like Illusion Esports, they're trying to posture up for a gank, but this could be devastating for them if it turns around. Looks like they're going to have to forfeit this fort, which is just going to, taking this. So at this point in the game, Wasted Potential, they're not looking for experience. They're looking to basically just make the game more and more difficult for Illusion Esports. By taking out that fort, it makes their line of retreat so much further back. Now, granted, Wasted Potential, they're playing very far up right now, but that's also because they have 20s. And you can also, the other factor to consider here is that it's a 15-5 game. They kind of have, in some of these fights, it's gone over in their favor a little bit more, so you have to also, set yourself in that mindset that, Illusion Esports, they're probably playing a little bit more passive because they don't want to take a fight, especially because they're down 20. They do engage, and it looks like Dragon Blade does go out. They do get quite a bit of damage here. There is a stun. The Ancestral does go out under Kozer, so that is actually, it hits a full health member, but it looks like they do push these guys back. Now, granted, in top, this camp started pushing up a little bit. It is starting to get that clear, a little bit of that pressure. They're starting to chase a little bit in mid here. They don't really need to. They could just go up in top and bottom, get that clear, get closer to 20s, and then take a clean, easy fight. Not easy, but I guess well-matched fight at the next Punisher that will be popping up right in the next 30 seconds. So with that, on the side of Wasted Potential, they go ahead, they pick up this camp, they're going to stagger the effects of that, so while the team does rotate out and say, okay, we got the top clear, we're good, we'll go bottom and clear, we'll set up for Shrine, you've got another camp that's pushing in. Granted, with all this delay, this is the thing that I had noted in the last Punisher, this is the situation that you wanted to be. Ooh. They leave from that bush right away. They know, and actually they dive right onto it. They're actually Lucio gonna go ahead and boost the speed, as well as actually switching to the actual speed boost. Not gonna be working out. They just disengage right away. They say, we don't want this fight. We know what you guys are trying to do. We get this minion wave. We get 20s, and that's exactly it. So everyone is at 20s now. 21, granted, does give technical stat benefits, so they are a little bit stronger on the side of wasted potential, but with the talent tier advantage not really in favor or up against them on the side of Illusion Esports, this is definitely the situation they want to be in to take a fight. But at this point, they're still playing a little passive. They have their Arthas on top, who is clearing that out. It looks like he will be rotating down into the team now. At this time, they really need to get onto this this shrine. Now, it is about halfway through. It's over halfway through. Arthas is a little low himself too, so he just needs to kind of note that as we're getting into this fight. They do back off on the side of wasted potential here. Does not look like they want to stagger a death at this time. I mean, this late into the game, you losing a member could be almost game ending. Ancestral does go out onto Kozer there. We do have knockback going out, and it looks like Arthas is not able to survive. Break It Down is used by the Lucio as well. There is the dive in from the Anubrak. Genji does pop the Dragon Blade. Looks like Thermic will be taking quite a bit of damage. Power Slide goes out onto the Maltheo here, going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Kozer trying to interrupt it, won't be happening. He will be popping the natural indestructible that is at 20. Looks like they do get the boop, and it will be another member going. They don't even go back for the Punisher. They say, this is definitely our game. We've got our catapult postured up for this. Let's go rotate onto the core, and let's end this. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be game number 1 going over to Wasted Potential. Hanzo got the 6th stun. Maltheo's returned. They're going to turn this around. Here's the big YouTube Maltheo play that we're going to get. No. This is just one of those things that the web rep does go out and they go ahead and they start to burn down this car. And that's going to be game number 1 going over to Wasted Potential. GG. Well played. All right, let's get going into our second matchup of the evening, and we are going to be going into Battlefield of Eternity. I really like this map. This is a good one. Like, it's the team fighting aspect of it is, I think, the thing that draws me the most, especially when I'm casting too. Like, that's the exciting part. It's just like, oh yeah, just look at these team fights. Like, heck yeah. So it's definitely something that I'm absolutely looking forward to. But definitely, so everyone knows, we'll close draft right around the next ban phase, or not draft. We'll close the raffle. There we go. We'll close the raffle right around the next ban phase. That way I can time it out with roughly my stream. So everyone, I think it's like this will be the last announcement of it. So we'll draw it in like 120 seconds, basically. There you go. That's what we'll do. When we see the when we see those, we'll closing it soon. So I'll just let them know we're closing the raffle soon. Get. Nathan, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Also, just so people know, follow alerts are disabled when I am casting, because I just don't want, like, you know, like hosts or like any other, like, you know, let's keep it true to the fight at hand. But we'll get into the draft here. We'll stop talking about this stuff. We have first pick Vala on the side of Illusion Esports. Typical because of the fact that we see, you know, the Immortal Burn with that Hungering Arrow build. Now, on the counter side, Wasted Potential is going to be actually picking up that Greymane, and I would actually argue that the draft on the side so far of Wasted Potential is stronger, because Greymane, I think, scales. His scaling against the Immortal throughout the game is pretty consistent, and I don't know. I can't think of the right word for basically just how it just travels up the graph. But overall, like Vala, she's kind of like, you know, good. She spikes when she finishes her quest, but then, you know, that's when she's good. So you need that. Whereas Greymane, I think he just scales naturally throughout the game better. So it's just one of the things, like, she peaks way later, whereas he's just good throughout. Now, Artanis being picked up with that, not something too out of the ordinary, but we also get the cow himself, ETC. Will be sliding into this match also, so that is that's actually really good. We do not have a bracket. No, because it's kind of like it's free point system at this point. So basically, during the season, you're looking at the points. Do we have a team up website set up? Because I know that one like tracked the stats last year. Let me look really quickly. If I can find it, I'll throw it in the Twitch chat. No, I don't think we have a team up website that provides that information. All right. So they're going to go ahead and ban out those members. So we're going to go ahead and close the raffle. Let me just make sure that I just told someone, I was like, make sure you get in the raffle too. All right. We'll go ahead and close that out in just a second. Now the Stukov ban, I'm not too opposed to, mostly because of the fact that looking at the draft, God, the setup for that would be really, really powerful. Also, Stukov on this map is just such a great guy. All right, that is going to be it. We will go ahead and close out the raffle. Raffle is closed. Let's do our drawing. Hey! Congratulations to Nathan 2006. Look at that. Write a private message. Let me just get this over to him really quickly. And once again, I just want to get major shout out to Archangel through NGS. He was the one who provided this to us. Thank you so much, Archangel. Like, huge shout out to you for just providing this game code. I appreciate it so much that you'd give this to me. So thank you again. Nathan, I just sent you the message through Twitch. Spam goes here. Okay, that's cool. Thank you, Twitch. Take me back to my page. Let me count myself. So Nathan, congratulations. You're also currently in this game right now too, so I just want to note that. Oh, it's not the Wix website actually. They changed it. It's can I mod him? I'm sorry I'm not doing a very good job of talking about draft. Okay, we missed the majority of the draft because I was doing all that. I apologize. Okay, Malfurion Tyrande. Tyrande for the natural burn on the Immortal to help out the Vala. I wonder if the Malfurion will just get rid of the... Stukov is a great guy at heart. He is. He's a really good guy. Like, Stukov's a really good guy. Malfurion, yeah. So Malfurion is probably going to be very good. The Twilight Dream is going to be good if they do end up diving onto some of these members, which the way their draft looks, it could be a divey cup. So I would be kind of worried about that. Tyrande, honestly, like, I really like the draft evolution in esports here. I really think it's pretty strong now. It's just really what kind of value that they're going to get with that gray main. This Li Ming makes me... I really like start to favor Wasted Potential again because... So here's the thing. With the dive comp that it looks like that they're putting together, you get a reset off of the Tyrande, you get a reset off the Vala. I mean, that's just Li Ming wiping your team at that point. So, now granted, they have to, like, actually, you know, body this damage and all that kind of stuff and, you know, like, actually get the damage into that backline, so that's another thing to consider here. But I don't know, like, with resets, I get very nervous up against Li Ming's. Especially with, you know, there are a couple squishy people. Malfurion does heal over time, so that's something they need to consider as well. Here's my follow-up on the raffle. I'm confused. Did it? Oh, it didn't DM to you? That's so weird. All right. All right. I guess I sent him a message. But either way, let's get into this matchup. We have on the right-hand side, we have Illusion Esports with Kozer on that ATC, Squill Black on that Vala, Infofox on the Tyrande, Thermic on the Malfurion, and Cawthon on that Artanis. On the left-hand side, we have we have Waves of Potential with Boone on the Arthas. We have the Zengaju on the Muradin, Hope on the Greymane, Geo on that Lucio, and Nathan on the Li Ming. Now, going into this matchup, on the bottom lane, we actually have... this looks like pretty standard laning matchup. I mean, we're going to have the Artanis going up against the Arthas in top, and I did not show talents. I apologize, stream. But it looks like we're going to be going ahead and just having a pretty even matchup. Nothing too crazy. The Immortals are going to be spawning at about, I think they spawn at 3 minutes if I'm not mistaken. So overall, I mean, we're just going to be having pretty safe play. I don't think that these guys are going to be pushing in anything crazy hard. Just peeking into top lane to see how this matchup's going to be going. Arthas could be... Oh, that makes sense. I was going to say he doesn't go for the stacking. The sprays going out. I actually have to say, like, those are like those are two of my favorite sprays. Like, those are great. Lucio Arthas gonna run up on him. No, absolutely. Here, Fizio, you are not wrong about that at all. And I think that's one of the reasons why they actually drafted the Malfurion in this situation, is because they actually wanted to make sure that they got rid of that dive. So, you know, they dive in, you get Twilight Dream, so they're on you and they can't do anything. Then you turn around, you get that mosh pit onto them. Or, you know, I think that's the God, the sprays that are going out, I absolutely love this. I do have to note that Dahaka, the paper mache ones are great. Or not paper mache, but you know what I mean. Either way, these guys are going to be playing pretty safe, so we can kind of just joke around about sprays for a little bit here. But overall, I mean, realistically, they could get a dive pick on one of these members, but the way that they're playing, it does not seem like that's going to be the situation. In top lane, Boone's getting pushed in quite a bit by Cawthon here. Now, you did have to go ahead and tap well, so you won't have that for the next 2 minutes, but that's a pretty big thing that if he's pushing into him, now, can he get a swap? I was going to say, if he gets a swap, he might be able to work him down, but the thing is, they're both very low on mana. They're going to need to go back, and that's actually interesting how the stylistic changes of the game have changed to the point where literally, like, some solo laners don't work because their timing for mana worked well with the objective. In the past, like, you know, you could be like, oh, it's 145, I can definitely, or excuse me, it's like 130, I can definitely go back, get mana, get in lane, clear my wave, and definitely still rotate on objective without a problem. Huge stun coming out on a couple of people. Muradin actually going to try to help out the team here, but Greymane will be the first one to fall here, and that is a excellent pick that they just got onto the members of Wasted Potential exactly right as the timer comes out. But here's the thing, timer's up in 15 or so seconds, and Greymane just got back, so death timers being this early, not that big of a deal, but definitely, Arthas did go back. He did want to make sure that he is full for this. It looks like Artanis did get a decent amount of sieging up into this lane, but overall, the experience value is a little bit in the favor of Illusion Esports, but it's not a huge difference here. We're talking about 1,000 roughly. Now, we do have a fight currently breaking out on the side of Waste Potential's Immortal here, and it looks like, Boone taking quite a bit of damage, will be getting stunned out as well. We do have Cawthon trying to dive into the back lane, trying to maybe get a swap there, did not work out, but overall, it looks like these guys are going to be botting this. Kozer taking quite a bit of damage from that Li Ming orb, but it looks like they get that burn, and they say, you know, we got our ETC, he'll take care of this for us. And at this time, typically what we see is we just see a burn onto the Immortal swap. Nope. A little late on the swap, I think maybe the quick cast wasn't set for that talent or something. But either way, we actually have a little bit of a chase here happening against the members of Illusion Esports. Now, the other thing to note is that Malfurion, super low on mana. We have Cawthon, who's very low himself on that Artanis. He does have well, does get that tap, does get a little bit more mana from, I believe, the Malfurion there. But the other thing to consider is that these are ticking up. They're not full, so they're going in. They're starting to burn down a lot of these abilities already. They're starting to go, a dive here onto Boone here. Got to be able to get out without a problem. And Dio got to be able to do the same, but they burn down this Immortal. Greymane was trying to work on the one over on the left-hand side. Does not look like they're going to be finishing it out, but granted, they took down some of that shielding. It's the first Immortal of the game. It's 4 minutes into the game. It scales by minutes, and it's not the most powerful thing, but still, you have that siege power in your favor. They rotate their Artanis back up into the top lane. Illusion Esports looking very confident in this game, especially with this first Punisher. They're setting up quite well. Let's see what kind of siege they get, especially with the pick that they got and the setup that they almost got on a boon there towards the end of that Punisher or that Immortal phase was very, very big for them. So let's just see if they can go ahead and pick up maybe another kill here. Artanis and Arthas are going to be going up against each other in that top lane once again, so they won't be here for the fight, but overall, 7s are going to be achieved first on the side of Illusion Esports, and with that little bit of benefit, they could siege just a little bit harder, but it does not look like that's going to be the case. They go ahead, they get the gate, they open this up. Are they going for a gank onto this camp? Is Wasted Potential going to make the risk of trying to... Ooh, okay. Greymane doing the smart thing, throwing the cocktail into the bush, making sure that they aren't going to be getting picked off in a rotation. So utilizing some abilities, yes, it's on cooldown now, but at the same time, you don't get bodied by a team who's talent tier advantage than you. The other thing too is Lucio making that long rotation out, but it's the safer one. They were kind of looking at this choke point, and once again they're kind of doing the same thing. They're setting up in this choke point to see if they maybe come down. I don't think it's going to work too many times in a row here. The other thing to note, just really quickly peeking up into top, Boone's starting to kind of turn this around on Coffin here a little bit, and actually might be able to get a little bit of damage onto him. The slowest fight on Earth is taking place currently on stream. Let's go back into bottom where some of the action is happening. Looks like they kind of want to posture up for this now that 7s are achieved, but they don't get it, and they also pick up the camp on the side of Illusion Esports. Now, the Punishers, the Immortals, if I'm not mistaken, should be popping up in about a minute or so, I do believe. The other thing to note, just popping back into top, it looks like... Okay, I was 30 seconds too much. But either way, we still have this. And honestly, it's still in favor, and this bottom lane is still in favor of Illusion Esports. They've just... The pressure that they've applied is really, 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 really strong. And if they can take the well, that's going to be even bigger for them. Does not look like they're just applying very, very safe passive pressure. There is a dive in onto a couple of members. There is a stun that does go out from Tyrande, does not connect. There's a root that does not, it just kind of zones a couple of members away, but there is quite a bit of damage going onto Kozer, and he will be first to fall there, and that is not the time you want to be losing one of your tanks, actually your main tank to be specific. Vala gonna go ahead and vault and get the reset on that Hungering Arrow, trying to stack that up a little bit more. Just every stack that you get on that hero is definitely another beneficial damage onto the Immortal. But at this time, the dash does go out from Artanis. It does not look like it'd be enough. They get a double stun from the Tyrande. Cawthon trying to get out, but he does get rooted as well as Infofox, and he's going to be taking the same and gets Goombud, and that is going to be the reset. And this is what I was talking about. The resets on Li Ming are terrifying. Once she gets one, that second orb that follow-up, oh god, no thank you. So at this point, Illusion Esports, they're going to have to play the safe game here. They really can't do too much. They can poke in a little bit, but even then, it's not worth dying over, not staggering death. So Artanis is back up at this time. He's going to be rotating in with the team. I don't think that they have the ability to take this fight. Tyrande Bird does go out, connects onto the Lucio there. Boone going to be taking the majority of this damage. So Kozer going to slide through. The boop does go out from the Lucio. There is a stun onto Kozer, and he is taking quite a bit of damage. Will be falling once again. And Zen Gaju. That's going to be the hardest one. We're going to call you Zen. Zen is... gonna go ahead and just zone some of these members away, and this is I was saying last Immortal how aggressive and how well planned they were, but it's honestly just turned on them like on a dime. Those 2 deaths onto the ETC, just that's pretty big for the members of Wasted Potential here. So definitely getting that is going to kind of set them up for a very good push here. And the other thing to know is this 8-minute Immortal, not very late game, but it has a full shield, so they have to burn through that shield before it will come into melee range. And here's the thing, they don't have a lot of ranged people to do a lot of damage on this. Granted, Artanis is in that bottom lane, making sure that he's working towards those 10s, also making sure that he gets that fort down and bottom burned away, so that they don't have that kind of retreat path, as well as just, trying to even up the structures, make sure that this game doesn't go out of hand. It doesn't, the favored term here doesn't snowball in favor. Now, Centric Ghost coming out from Artanis there. Or not Artanis, Arthas. That would be very weird if it was coming out from Artanis. ETC looking to set up for a mosh pick here. The other thing to note is that we also have Haymaker on the side of Muradin, which my friend calls the fun talent. And I'm like, yo, you're the main tank. If you're the solo tank, please don't do that to me. But either way, we actually have a breakdown used as well as Mosh Pit, but there is an interrupt from the excuse me, not from the Caltrops, but there is an interrupt onto the Mosh Pit. Looks like they are able to just get this keep, though, with this Punisher. Boone going to be falling in the situation as a potential. No, it's not going to be happening. And the thing is, though, the Immortal, it has half health. They just give up. Granted, they push them back. They no longer have, you know, that pressure, but they lose the keep. And losing a keep, even, you know, just sub 10 minutes, I mean, just losing a keep in general is so hard because, I went on a whole ramble about this, but, you know, the short of the long is that having the catapult pressure consistently in a map where you have to fight over an objective and you can delay it out, that is... You're a ticking time bomb at that point. So they really, really need to make sure that they keep clearing top. And what they're going to do is a smart thing. They're going to go ahead and grab this camp. It will keep that top lane pushed out. Now, granted, at the same time, Wasted Potential, they picked up this easy camp. So that's going to be... Ooh. 13s are really close on the side of Wasted Potential here. They go in for the invade. Mosh Pit's not available yet. They do have Starfall for zoning. They do also have Suppression Pulse. Does not look like they're going to be taking this fight, though. Zen is going to be zoning them out a little bit here. Kozer looks like he's going to be kind of doing... They're in this pinch point. They go ahead and they pick up the camp, and it looks like this is given over. The slide does come out. They're starting going to chase. Actually, Sendra Ghost coming out. Huge amount of damage going out to so many of the members. They actually bodied Tyrande there. Malfurion going to be falling as well. Coffin looks like he will be the next one to fall. Zen is so low. They get the kill onto Murden, but do they trade out? It looks like they do. Artanis is going to be falling as well as ETC, and we are going to be having these members rotate into bottom and take the fort because that's all you could literally do. I would actually say at this time, granted death timers are slow, but send someone up into top, clear that out, and get rid of that pressure so that way you can rotate onto Immortals quicker. Granted, yes, you are opening this up. Immortal is coming down this lane guaranteed next, so by weakening it, it's going to be going to the keep before a fort. So I can agree with this. They have time. Top lane has catapult. You know, they can rotate someone there after they get the fort. So you know what? I'm going to correct myself here and just say they made the right call. They had time. They got the fort. That's huge for them because they are expecting to pick up this next Immortal. And if they can, then that's going to be pretty big for them to barrel down that bottom lane into this keep. And, you know, granted, they have a keep and all of that, but at the same time, there's that pressure from the rest of the team. I mean, at this point, if they don't get some damage onto the enemy Immortal, Lucian Esports is going to be going up against another fully shielded Immortal, and that's just terrifying. No, thank you. Boone going to be catching out ETC here. Now, Mosh Pit is available. Swap does not go out. Or Swap does not connect. The other thing to note here is that the not Monster Hunter, Hungering Arrow quest, I can't remember off the top of my head, has been completed here, so that is going to be pretty big for them. We actually get a Arthas kill very early there from the Vala, so they are starting to do quite well here. We do have a Haymaker going out from Zen, but here's the thing, Mosh Pit going out onto one of the members is going to be interrupted by the Lucio, but the Starfall going to be connecting onto the Greymane, so he does get that kill onto the Malfurion, but they go ahead and get the counter kill onto the Greymane. Now, Nathan and Zen are going to be trying to poke at some of these members. It looks like they're going to be chasing down Nathan here at this time. The swap does go out from Cawthon here. They actually get the reset. That does give them another blink out. Geo going to be trying to help his team. He does have the speed boost. Will they be able to get another reset for the Li Ming? Because if they can, that'll be huge. Murden is actually going to be killed with that dash, so it looks like that is going to be... Oh, but Nathan really wants this kill here. Does he get the magic missile? No. I call them... No, they are magic missiles, yeah. She has magic. I was like, no, that's D&D. Like, your character does that. No, it's they actually have it. And either way, it looks like they will be burning down this Immortal, so there's going to be another fully shielded one going down that bottom lane. Now, here's the thing, the other note. I kept talking about ticking time bombs. One, first off, that's a reset, but Nathan has no mana, and they will be dying, but... Top lane currently has catapults on core, and so they get Greymane. He's currently just getting some damage on the Immortal. They get that down. That is a fully shielded Immortal going bottom lane. Granted, bottom is stacked up with Archers, so that's pretty big for them. They're going to have to clear that out. We'll give them a nice beneficial bump and experience, though, on the side of Wasted Potential, pushing them probably close to, if not 16. So this is, once again, kind of a do-or-die situation for the members of, as I was saying, it's very, very close to 16s there. They actually go ahead and they pick them up as they get the Immortal here, and this is big for them. So if they can get a pick onto the backline, Centrigosa goes out, stops the damage coming out from the towers, gives them a lot more siege potential here. Kozer coming in through the backline. There is no Mosh available. They are down the talent here. Power Slide does go out onto the Greymane here. Hope gonna be backing off here. Zen is in the odd side of the map, but it looks like they dive in with the rest of the team. We do have Starfall out, but it looks like they do not care. Vala gonna be falling, Malfear gonna be falling, and this fight is starting to go very south very quickly for Illusion Esports. They're gonna be losing the Tyrande. Cawthon is going to be the next one to go. Kozer will be stunned out, and he will be falling here. And that's gonna be the keep falling, and that is going to be, I would expect at this point with the Immortal and everything, this is going to be the game going over to Wasted Potential. They take both games. That's going to be 3 points for Wasted Potential. GG, well played. Great games, guys.